Have you noticed how a single yes can unravel everything? Think about how often you've agreed to something you didn't want, gave in to an unwanted request, or took on a burden that wasn't yours. It may seem harmless, but every thoughtless yes is robbing your freedom, wearing down your time, draining your energy, all while you're trying to please everyone except yourself. Today, I want you to face an uncomfortable but liberating fact. Excessive yes is an anchor pulling you down, while no is the key to your independence. Learning to say no isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Together, we're going to uncover the transformative power of having the courage to say no to things that don't serve you. Because believe me, the life you want begins when you stop accepting the life others want for you. Consider how often you've said yes without a second thought, without even thinking about the consequences. This automatic yes seems small, but it might be gradually chipping away at your life. A study by the American Psychological Association found that 40% of people have their biggest stress sources in commitments they didn't even want to take on. Every impulsive yes is a debt of time and energy that only you pay. Why does this happen? Often it's the fear of disappointing, of seeming selfish, of being judged. Society trains you to believe that pleasing others is the way to be liked, but at what cost? When you accept everything to avoid conflict or meet expectations, you set aside your own priorities. The result? Exhaustion, frustration, and that constant feeling of no time left. Now look at this in practice. It's Sunday night. You just want to relax, but a colleague asks for help on a work task. Even with a packed schedule, you say yes. You start the week already drained, your priorities fall behind, and your stress grows. This scenario repeats across different areas, and the impact builds up. The more yeses you give, the further back what truly matters goes. So, I ask, how often have you sacrificed your own plans to please others? Each time you say yes without thinking, you're saying no to something important in your life. Your goals, your rest, your peace of mind. It's time to understand that every yes should be a conscious choice. The automatic yes is a trap that drains your most precious resources, time and energy. If you don't start recognizing its impact now, this weight will keep growing, pulling you further away from the life you truly want. What do you think would happen if you started saying no more often? This simple act could be one of the most liberating decisions of your life. No is like a line that separates what's essential to you from what just takes up space. It creates a boundary that lets you focus energy on your true priorities, and that's transformative. Imagine this. At work, you're overwhelmed but keep accepting responsibilities that aren't yours. You want to help? You don't want to seem inflexible, so you keep saying yes until you realize your productivity is dropping, your stress is rising, and the goals that truly matter for your growth are sidelined. By saying no to tasks that distract you, you're automatically saying yes to your own growth, to a life with more purpose and less weariness. This power of no also transforms your personal relationships. How often have you given up something important because you felt you needed to be available for others? Each time you say no firmly, you set a boundary that protects what's valuable to you. People who respect your boundaries will understand, and those who don't, maybe don't even deserve your yes. And this applies even to internal boundaries. No is crucial for fighting impulses and habits that sabotage your time and focus. Ask yourself, do you really want to bear the weight of pleasing everyone, of accepting everything, while your own dreams fall behind? If you want to transform the life you're living into the life you desire, it's time to see no as a tool of choice, and ultimately of freedom. Saying no is saying yes to yourself. Saying yes should be a powerful choice, not a reflex. Every yes you give must have a purpose. It must align with who you are and what you genuinely want to build. After all, if everything is important, then nothing is a priority. A conscious yes is one that adds value and reinforces your commitment to what matters to you. Think about someone who says yes to every demand at work. Even with good intentions, this person ends up overwhelmed and without time for what truly matters to their career. But by saying yes only to the tasks that genuinely matter, they strengthen their focus and productivity, gaining more control over their own time. This yes is also valuable in personal relationships. Saying yes to meetups, projects, or commitments that truly enrich you creates a sense of meaning. Unlike an automatic yes, this type of conscious acceptance allows you to be fully present, energized, and enjoy every experience you choose to live. So next time someone asks you for something, pause. Ask yourself, does this yes contribute to what I want to be and do? Because a conscious yes is like a promise to yourself. And when you choose carefully, yes becomes a positive affirmation, something that builds, not depletes. Remember, the value of your yes increases as you learn to use it with intention. Each conscious yes brings you closer to the life you desire and distances you from the chaos that an automatic yes brings. Saying no takes courage, especially when you know the other side might not like the answer. But does your fear of disappointing others really outweigh your own peace? Think about it. How many times have you said yes just to avoid hurting someone and then spent hours regretting it, feeling the weight of an obligation that isn't yours? According to research from Columbia University, about 60% of people regret decisions made solely to please others, a regret that drains and directly impacts self-esteem and confidence. This fear of displeasing creates an invisible prison where the fear of judgment dictates your actions. Every yes you give just to avoid conflict or please others, you're actually sacrificing a part of yourself. How many times have you felt the tension of having to choose between what you want and what others expect of you? And how many times has that yes led you to a place of frustration, to silent exhaustion? Ask yourself, how many yeses have you given out of fear of seeming selfish? This fear is actually a reflection of your own insecurity, not reality. If those around you only accept you for what you do or how available you are, maybe these relationships need reevaluation. When you start prioritizing what matters to yourself, your confidence grows, and it shows in every area of your life. Overcoming the fear of disappointing isn't selfish. It's an act of self-care and courage. The truth is, people around you respect those who set boundaries. Studies show that people who know how to say no tend to be seen as more reliable and authentic because their yes has value and honesty. They know what they want, and above all, they know how to respect themselves. So, the next time you feel that lump in your throat, that fear of disappointing someone by saying no, remember, your no is a sign of self-respect. And the courage to say no is the only way to ensure that you're also saying yes to what truly matters in your life. Look at your daily life. How many things do you do out of habit without even questioning how much they actually matter? Social media, constant notifications, unexpected requests. Studies indicate that on average, it takes up to 23 minutes for a person to regain focus after an interruption. So every time you say yes to a distraction, you're sabotaging what matters most. Be honest. How many times have you stopped what you were doing to answer a message that wasn't even urgent? Or accepted an invite you didn't even want just to avoid seeming rude? Every yes you give to something that diverts your attention is a no to your own project's growth and time. And if time is the most precious resource we have, why waste it on things that don't add value? Imagine that you're working on an important goal, something that could change your life. But with every notification, every request that comes up, you stop, get sidetracked. At the end of the day, what truly progressed? This is the reality of someone who hasn't learned to prioritize. Are you willing to give a firm no to these distractions? Think about this. If what you want to build for yourself is important, every yes you give needs to be a conscious decision. Because the truth is, your attention is limited. And the more you let other things steal your focus, the less you have for what truly matters. Life reflects your yeses and nos. And if you want that reflection to be something meaningful, start saying no to what pulls you away from your purpose. It's not about being rigid, but about understanding that saying no to what sabotages you is saying yes to what helps you grow. How many times have you ignored your own limits not to disappoint others? How often has your body and mind been asking for rest, but you said yes to one more obligation? The truth is, by accepting more than we can give, we end up draining ourselves. And that has a price. Studies confirm that a lack of clear boundaries can result in burnout and serious mental health issues. In Japan, it's even given a name, karoshi, or death from overwork. The point is, by saying yes to everything and everyone, you're saying no to yourself. Saying no may seem simple, but in practice, it's a powerful gesture of self-respect. It says, I care about my well-being. I respect my limits. Each time you set a healthy boundary, you're reinforcing what's most important to you and preserving your physical and emotional health. Imagine this. You're exhausted after a week full of commitments. A friend invites you to an event, but you don't have the energy to go. That yes, which seems like a polite gesture, is actually a betrayal of your body and mind, which are begging for rest. And if you keep ignoring these signs, the price will only get higher. Studies from Harvard Business Review show that people with clear boundaries are more resilient and experience lower stress levels. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Saying no to what exceeds your limits isn't selfish. It's an affirmation that you value yourself. Because only when you care for your mental and physical health can you give your best in any area of life. So, ask yourself, how often are you saying yes when your body, mind, and well-being are desperately asking for a no? It's time to start listening to these signs and use no as the ultimate expression of self-care and self-respect. The power of saying no is more than a strategy. It's a path to true freedom. Every no you consciously choose frees you from others' expectations and opens space for a life that's yours, where your choices reflect what you truly want to build. Imagine living a life where every yes and no is said with clarity and purpose. A life where you're in control, where your actions align with what you desire. This is the power of a curated life, where you have the courage to prioritize your dreams, goals, and well-being. So, the question is, are you ready to transform your life through the strength of your choices? Are you willing to say no to what no longer serves, to finally say yes to what truly matters? This is the key to a journey of self-discovery and real growth. Share in the comments which no's you've realized you need to start saying to stop living a mediocre life. And if you're committed to this transformation, watch the video that's appearing on your screen. It's another strategy to truly take your life to the next level. Because in the end, the life you deserve begins when you learn to choose.